Tonight for an epic showdown, all eyes will be on Luka Doncic as he faces the team that traded him away since arriving in LA. Luka has averaged almost 27 points a game, and the Lakers look poised to make some noise in a wide-open Western Conference. So, Stephen A., how important is it for Luka to win a title for the Lakers?
Well, it's everything, because it's the Los Angeles Lakers. This is what they do. They acquired Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They ultimately won 5 titles. They acquired Kobe Bryant. That was via trade, because remember, Charlotte originally drafted him. Jerry West pulled off that draft day magistry. I mean, the bottom line is he won 5 titles. You look at Pau Gasol. He helped give you 2. You look at Anthony Davis. He got you 1. The Lakers are accustomed to winning championships. There's only one franchise that has won more. It is the Boston Celtics. That's it. That's all we're talking about here. So when you come to the Los Angeles Lakers, that's tinsel time. It's title time. It's what their expectations are. It's a different standard wearing the purple and gold. Yeah. When you are a superstar, you don't matter unless you deliver that good. Could you imagine if LeBron James had never won a title in Los Angeles? After Kobe and Kareem and Magic and everybody else, but LeBron hadn't won one, it would be an entirely different legacy of his. But he delivered the goods. Now it's Luka's turn. Yeah, speaking of Hollywood, Shannon?
It doesn't matter how you get to the Lakers. You go back. It was Wilt that started it, won a championship. Kareem won a championship. Bob McAdoo won a championship. Shaquille O'Neal won a championship. Pau Gasol won a championship. LeBron James, Anthony Davis won a championship. If you are a great player and you come to the Los Angeles Lakers, it is a requirement. It is a requirement that you win a title. So absolutely, and as great as Luka is, because if you look at it, Wilt came on the tail end of his career. Bob McAdoo likewise. So in a situation like this, where you got a prime Luka, a championship is an absolute certain in order for him to be considered one of these Laker greats. Hopefully, it's multiple, because that is what the requirement is if you are a great player and you play for this franchise.
All right. I am so glad we asked this question.
Okay.
Because when this trade went down, the very first thing I said the next day, first of all, I personally think this trade is going to be talked about 50 years from now. That's what I believe. But only if Luka Doncic wins in Los Angeles. In fact, this trade is only going to be determined by that. It doesn't matter what Anthony Davis does. It doesn't matter if the Dallas Mavericks win a championship in the next 2 to 3 years, because you could have done it with Luka. That's what people are going to say. What matters is what happens with the rest of the arc of Luka Doncic's career. Does he go to LA and not just win 1, but that would probably answer the question. But if he wins 2, 3, or something like that over the next decade, imagine how this trade is going to be viewed, no matter what success Anthony Davis has or what success the Dallas Mavericks have. This is about Luka Doncic and Luka Doncic only, and what he does from this point forward, because the Dallas Mavericks bet on the fact that he couldn't win. Exactly. They wouldn't have made the trade if they didn't believe that guy could not lead you to a championship.
But do you think that's foolish? Sorry, real quick, Stephen A. Do you think it's foolish that they bet against it? Because we had Shams Charania on and giving a report that basically that they're betting against his success.
That's exactly what they did. Yeah. How else could you interpret it? They're betting that he is not going to ultimately squeeze that last 10 or 15% out of himself, whatever it may be, off-season conditioning, leadership, in-season grinding, stop complaining at the refs, whatever it is. They don't think he could squeeze that last 15% out to become the all-time great and lead this franchise to championships. Otherwise, you can't possibly make the trade. That is the bet that they made. So if Luka leads a different franchise to championships, that answers the question. So for me, the entire trade is predicated on what Luka does. Nothing else matters. He's got to win in L.A.
There's a caveat to it. I get what you're saying. I don't necessarily disagree. I just think it's not complete. Luka not winning is catastrophic. It's significantly more so if Anthony Davis does win the championship. Because if he wins the championship and Luka doesn't win at all, that's problematic. If they find themselves over the next few years, Dallas gets a championship, the Lakers get a couple of championships. Yes, Luka wins and the Dallas Mavericks still don't look great, because guess what? He's winning a couple of chips without you, and you were betting on the fact that he couldn't win. We also got to take into account Nico Harrison, who I like. But the bottom line is this. He made a change, and ownership obviously is all in on this, because this is what they wanted to do. They went to Western Conference Finals a few years ago. Remember, they had Jalen Brunson. You moved him. You moved Luka, okay? What's Luka going to do? We see what Jalen Brunson is doing in New York City. Those are the kind of things that are going to stockpile on a Nico Harrison if Luka comes to Los Angeles and win. We got to pay attention to all of that. But I do think Anthony Davis winning a championship in Dallas with Kyrie takes some of that off of them.
Only if Luka doesn't.
Right.
That's the only
But
scenario.
are you betting on Luka? Are you betting on Luka?
I am betting on Luka, yes. I'm betting on a 25-year-old with the 33-9-9 every night. Yeah,
So
I'm betting on that.
So am I.
And especially going to that franchise.
Yes.
He's going to figure this out. Now, look, there might be some things you're going to always wish he does better. He's not a grinder. He's not Giannis running on the beach, running sprints in the summer. Okay, I get it. Luka Doncic's talent at 25 years old and his body of success already at 25.
And what if he gets in shape?
That's what I'm saying.
And by the way,
I'm betting on Luka.
By the way, Jeannie Buss, we believe in Jeannie Buss in terms of her going out there and get somebody. Give Rob Pelinka a lot of credit. He's done a hell of a job. Because he's done a hell of a job. And it's not, if Luka comes up there and wins, wow.
And they found a coach too, Shannon.
Yes, they did.
But guys, we got to understand, Luka in shape is not going to look like LeBron James in shape. It's not going to look like the Dwight Howard or Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. He just doesn't have that body makeup. He can be in shape, but y'all expect the man to have caps on his shoulders and calves bulging out. That's not the body type that he has. But you know, Stephen A., when you go back and trace it to when they first got Wilt Chamberlain, and you come all the way through, if you are a superstar, and this guy, Luka Doncic, is a mega superstar, it is an absolute requirement because everybody that came before you has done it. So that's the succession plan that you have in place. From 72, when they got Wilt back in the early 70s, all the way through to now you got him in 2024. 25. This is a requirement for a Laker great players because all the other great players before you did exactly that. And you must do that because in L.A., if you don't win, Stephen A., you know they won't come.
That's right. And this is the last thing. He may have actually extended and prolonged the career of LeBron James.
How many more years?
LeBron wasn't going nowhere anyway.
No, wait a minute. He might have chosen to.
He wasn't going nowhere. Don't try to rush us off.
Shannon, how many more years?
I see what you're doing. You're trying to shoo us off the porch like we're a cat or something. We're not going nowhere.
I said I'm not rushing them off. What I'm saying is everybody was talking about at the beginning of the season, 2 years left or whatever. We don't know what LeBron James might do now, especially if they're winning with Luka. He might not go anyway. He might stay another 5 is what I'm trying to say. Before you so rudely interrupted me, I'm just, he might stay another 5.
Leg. He been
45 years old.
He been trying to shoo LeBron off the porch like he a cat anyway. Shoo, get out of here. Go ahead, scram. No, we ain't going nowhere.
Hey, taking him off the ball, it's going to add a couple years. There's no doubt about it, man. Less grind. Having to feed everybody else. You got somebody now to feed everybody else.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
25 years.